Yeah.
So you need to do get the blood in there, flow a little bit blood, and then do something to stop the blood coming back. So you got like a semi. You don't want to have a hard on because that's very painful. But if you got like a semi, so you now look like a shower. I went straight to the boss. I said, I want to be a stripper. And he was like, okay, get a routine together. You got 3 months. Pulling my neck. Just everything was going on. And I was like, get me out of here. In embarrassment. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was like, yes, this is where I'm supposed to be. Dancing, performing. I've never seen anything like it. I've been to a concert, but this was just like in a confined space, 350 girls going wild. I was like, what? Who is he? At that moment, I was thinking, oh my God, hope it's big enough, hope it's big enough, hope it's big enough.
Tento podcast nahrávame v štúdiu podcaster.sk, ktorý sa nachádza v Bratislave na Greslingovej ulici v krásnom umeleckom priestore Atelier, ktorý je tu rovno za dverami, kam môžete prísť, malovať, dať si dobrý drink, koktail a vychutnať si to na teráske, ktorá je tu vonku uprostred mesta. Takže z tohto nádherného miesta vysielame aj ďalšiu epizódu. Vítajte pri sledovaní a počúvaní. Your mom was strict, right?
My mom was very strict.
Oh, okay, so welcome everybody. This is another episode of Nerudacast, another one in English. And I have a special guest here whose mom was very strict. But even though he's here because he's MMA fighter, he can do the jet ski, he can do snowboarding, he can sing, he can live in the role of a Jedi, and he's also a stripper, which I am super interested about. Welcome, Akonne Wanliss.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you, Pavel. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I cannot miss this opportunity to like talk with you on camera, to share this unique, how to say, is it a job? Yeah, it is a job.
It's a unique lifestyle.
Yeah, unique lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious. Like you was born in
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
I was born in Jamaica.
And you are saying your mom was very strict.
Super strict.
And you are a stripper.
And I'm a stripper. How did that happen? Right. I think the first time I told my mom that I was a stripper, I must have died like 3 times already by thinking what she was going to do to me.
Oh my God.
Well, I was so surprised. I built up the courage one day to go up to my mom, and I think I was doing the job for about 2 weeks, and I couldn't hide it anymore because a situation that we'll maybe go into a little bit later. I ended up back at my mom's house. And this is when I told her, because obviously I was going out all the time. And when I told her this, the response was mad. It was something I didn't expect. I said, Mom, I've got a new job. And she was like, okay, good. I said, I'm dancing at a club, performing, like I'm stripping. I just like literally said it like I'm stripping. And she was like, okay. All right. Rule number 1, we're not going to call it stripping. We're going to call it performing arts.
Oh, nice.
And she was like, and rule number 2, make sure you're the best damn performing artist ever. Don't embarrass me, son. And I was like, what? What the hell? I was like,
oh, that's a good mom.
Yeah, that's a really
God.
good mom. So she just let me spread my wings and off I went. And I'm proud to say...
how the pressure felt from you, right? After that, like, oh my God.
It dropped, and it allowed me to be the best performer I could be, you know? And in the world of stripping, I went on to be...
There's not many strippers that they can do this job and live with it, that I'm doing it to be the best as I can. And I'm doing it basically for my mom.
Yeah.
To be happy to make her wish real, right?
That's right, because a lot of people hide a lot of things from their parents, you know? You grow up and you don't want to tell your parent that you smoke, that you drink, or that you have sex. You don't want to tell them that, all that sort of stuff. But that opened the floodgates for me and my mom to almost reconnect, because we did go for a rough patch where I was a naughty kid. And and that was maybe one of the things that bonded us more, her giving me that reassurance to go and be my own man and spread my own wings. So I thank her for that.
Oh my God, that's really nice. I'm saying hello to Akonne's mom.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, mommy?
This is how all moms should react, and like be thankful for the honesty of the kids, right? Not hiding things.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because the reaction could be totally different.
It could have been.
Because I understand she was strict, right? Strict mom when you was growing up.
Super strict. Like we had chores. Every Sunday I had to get up and clean the house from top to bottom. Every night when I come back from school, I'd have to do all my schoolwork. I'd have a curfew, so I'd be able to go out with my friends, but only at like a 200-meter radius. So I couldn't even go down to this line in the middle of the road, and it was really weird. We'd cross this line, and all of a sudden, my mum would know. Oh. I'd be like, "What? How did she have eyes in the back of the head?" And yeah, we get punished. Like, sorry to say, mum used to beat us hard. But yeah, it's back in the day.
Now you can say it.
Yeah, now I can say it, yeah.
And how did this happen that you become the stripper after probably tried different things, different jobs, and then you end up with this one?
Yeah, so I was 21 and I just had finished my PT course. So I done my PT course when I was about 19. And then I got a job in Pure Gym, this one, like a fitness gym that's like got loads of franchise and stuff like that. And there'd be like a lot of people coming through the doors, right? It's a commercial gym. So I started to really break out into my own character there, mixing with a lot of people and building people skills. And then I used to break dance in a crew called Transit Tricks professionally as a young kid. And this one guy, one of my best friends, one of my close friends back then, when I left the crew, he stayed in touch with me. And all of a sudden, he sent me a message over Facebook saying, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Do you fancy hosting at a strip club?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, all right, what do I have to do?" He was like, "You just have to turn up, buy a t-shirt." So I had to buy a shirt and a bow tie and baby oil. That was all the instructions and obviously the locations where to turn up. So I turn up at around 5:30. I knock the door, massive big doors in Birmingham. I'm already like, trying to anticipate what's going on. I walk in and he greets me and he's like, "Oh, what's up?" I haven't seen him for maybe about 2 years or something like that. He's like, "Oh, how you doing?" We catch up and then he was like, "Right, give me a shirt." He chops up my shirt and then gives me just literally the collar and the cuffs of my shirt and my bow tie, and then passes me the baby oil and says, "Put that on." So I'm like, okay, this is the first time I've dressed up. I'm just 21. So this is the first time I've dressed up like any sort of, you would almost call that fetish wear, right? So any sort of like out there where I'm feeling a little bit like naked.
Yeah, for sure. In front of the bunch of people, they are dressed and...
Yeah, everyone's dressed and then I'm just like, as a host. There's no girls at this point. So it's around about 7:30 now and the doors, it starts to get busy outside. Like they turn the music on, but you still can hear outside. And it's like, and I'm thinking, what's going on outside? What's happening? There's this massive mirror. I go look at it just to check that I'm all oiled up and stuff, pop my chest, and then the doors open. And I was not ready for what was about to happen. Like, I thought I was prepared for everything in life, being 21 years old and, sociable, being a personal trainer. I've got all my life sorted together. And I started kickboxing around that time. I thought, yeah, I'm the man. Nothing can faze me.
Everything.
Yeah, I saw everything. Wow. The door opened and we needed security just to keep the girls in a line. Girls are coming out. Screaming, hen parties, birthdays, divorce parties, everything, they're all coming. And they're coming for me. And I was like,
my God.
What do I do? Like, "Hey, sexy, what's your name? What's your name?" Dragging me here and there. I'm so embarrassed. Like, "Oh, you're so sexy." Literally grabbing my belly button, my nipples, pulling my neck. Just everything was going on. And I was like, get me out of here. In embarrassment. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was like, yes, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I'm there taking the girls into the that. Let me slow down.
Oh my God! And it was just you, as I understand, at the beginning when they open the door. they went in and it was just only you there at the beginning.
Well, pretty much. So there's one girl that like puts all the tickets on. They're not interested.
Yeah, of course.
And then it's just me.
Oh my God.
And then there's a few more boys at the top that help. So it's literally just all directed to me, and then I have to pass them on to the boys, and then I bring a champagne, and that's my job done.
Okay.
So it's very easy, but it's just a lot of interaction, a lot of horny girls, a lot of crazy girls. They're just like of all ages, 18 to like 60, and they're trying to rip you apart. And you're like, what? It was nuts.
Yeah, because they came there to see the nice boys and like handsome guys, and he was the first, and they were probably waiting too long behind the door, right?
Yeah. And that night, that's when what happened was, as I got all the girls in, everyone's like sitting down, everyone's still going crazy, and then the first guy goes on stage, and this is when the weird dynamic happened. It was all of a sudden, all the girls, I got used to all the attention, and I thought, oh, this is it, this is really cool. Boom, the attention just dropped from me and just went boom straight to stage. And I was like, whoa, it even made me stop and think, what's going on now? Like, huh? This boy comes out, he starts dancing, performing. I've never seen anything like it. I've been to a concert, but this was just like in a confined space, 350 girls going wild. I was like, what? Who is he? And then he's just a normal guy from Wolverhampton that just can strip. The girls went nuts. And I was like, he got off stage. I asked, how much do you get paid? Because I was thinking business now in my head.
Yeah.
I found out it was 3 times as much as me. I was like, no, I can do that. How do I do that? How do I get on stage and strip?
Right, first night, straight away you asked for this.
From the first night, I asked for it. I went straight to the boss. I said, I want to be a stripper. And he was like, okay, get a routine together. You got 3 months. Here's the journey.
Oh my God, cool. Oh, so it was like, first love on first sight, right? Like
love at first sight, almost, yeah.
This job. And so how you learn your routine is what's 3 months? It sounds like so long. Like, I mean,
yeah.
How long was the performance that he was preparing?
So you have to prepare a 15-minute performance.
Okay.
And he said 3 months, but I did it I turned it over in about space of 3 weeks, I think it was.
Okay.
So we have to go to rehearsals. So I had to meet the rest of the crew. So he brought me into the rehearsals that they do, and they do these things called group routines. So as the show starts, it's like I started off with this group called UK Pleasure Boys. So it'd come out, UK Pleasure Boys, blah, blah, blah. Are you excited to see the strip? And then these guys would come out on stage, like in like sort of a Men in Black outfit, and then we'd do our first routine. It was very cheesy, super cheesy, that one. And then the first guy would come on, and he would be stripping down just to boxers.
Oh, okay.
And then next guy would come out, down to boxers. And then they would do like a halftime show, which is like, again, another group routine, and then the full Monty strippers would come out.
Oh, okay. So it's like main card.
Yeah, it's
in our
like
world,
fighting. Yeah,
it's like prelims, and then
prelims, and then the main card. Yeah. So the process for me was I had to go and pick my music, had to pick my theme, pick my how I was going to do my routine, and then.
And it was on you. They didn't like teach you this. Like it was your pick.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I had to like literally make everything myself, and then present it to the boys when I think it was ready. And then they would like pick it apart and give me like tips. And then I would have my first show booked. So for me, that took about 3 weeks.
And okay, and then so there was a first show in front of you, and you was where on the card, on prelims or the main card?
So I was definitely a prelim.
Okay.
The first show you're going to be a prelim, and I was the opening fight, the opening strip, as to say. But this was kind of weird because it was a special for the audience because I did the opening strip, but I went full Monty, which normally you don't do. But I think they just done that just to get it, give me my first strip and to get the party started. But I felt super confident about my outfit. Not my outfit, but about my whole routine and the outfit and everything. But one thing I was a bit nervous about was tying up, like getting my cock ready. Like that's something that no one teaches you. 3 months or 3 weeks, no one goes, all right.
And what does it mean to make your cock ready?
So you get your cock out at the end when it's when you do the full Monty, and if you just get it out in the mirror and it's all flop and stuff, like
okay.
it's probably not impressive. Oh, it's all right, but
yeah, okay. So
so you need to get the blood in there, flow a little bit blood, and then do something to stop the blood coming back. So you got like a semi. You don't want to have a hard on because that's very painful. But if you got like a semi, so you now look like a shower.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You look like, so if you're a grower, then that's what the typical strippers do. They never used to do it back in the 90s. Apparently, I learned all this history. But in the 2000s, they started to implement tying up, which is what I just explained, how you put a band on the base of the cock and it just holds your erection there for however long you keep the band on.
Oh, really? So you can control how much you want to be prepared, right?
Yeah, yeah. And some people go overboard and end up in hospital.
Oh my God.
That's not a good idea. Okay. That extra inch is not worth it. Trust me. Just go with what you got and be confident with what you got. And then, so I had to learn that. And that happened all on the night of my performance. Because I got to the show, it was somewhere in Plymouth, and it was literally my time to go on, and I'm panicking and touching my mate, saying, "I've got to tie up now. Like, what do I do? what do I do?" Like, he's like, he was all chill about it. He was like, "Cool, don't worry. I'll show you what to do." And now I'm thinking in my head, "What do you mean you're going to show me what to do? Like, no, I didn't sign up for this. Like, no." But anyway, he was like, "Cool." He gave me instructions. He was like, "Take this, take some porn, go into the bathroom. And when you've got a hard on or a semi, just let me know." And again, I'm still like, I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" He knocks the door while I'm getting ready, and I said, "Yeah, I'm good. And he just passes me this. We used tights, so I used tights for the first time to tie up. And the process of using tights is you get some women's tights. You can get them all colours and thinness, but you want them in a nice thinness and something that matches the colour of your skin, right? So it just looks like...
So it will be invisible.
Yeah,
basically.
It looks invisible. So what they do, they keep it long, they chop it at both ends and then wet it and then put it in Vaseline. So that's to keep it lubricated so it doesn't chop your cock in half. Or chafe you or something like that. So I didn't know all this. This is something
all the stripper tricks.
All the stripper tricks. So he's giving me this like string, just passed it to me. I'm like, what the hell? He's like, tie that around the base. So I've done it. And he's like, have you tied it? And I said, yeah. He says, you don't sound like you've tied it. And I'm like, why is it supposed to feel like? He said,
sound?
Yeah. So I'm supposed to pull it. And if you hear the person go, "Oh," that's how you know you've tied it correctly. Yeah, it's meant to be painful. So he was waiting he listened out to me to hear me go, "Ah." He's like, keep pulling. And I was like, "Oh," I went, "Ah." And he's like, "Yeah, that's it. Great."
Because there's maybe thin line where you can hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And being just properly prepared.
Of course. And if it's not tight enough, it just goes.
Yeah, because you will lose the blood.
The blood, yeah. So you have to get that really strong tie. And it's a battle with your mind because you're in pain, but then you have to pull because you
still need to be at that time half ready, right?
Yeah. So you still need to be ready. So you need to do it all fast. Or it's so it's a race against the clock.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, a race against the clock.
How much time you had that moment until your performance? It was how many minutes before?
I think I had about 5 minutes.
Oh my God!
So I was
it was stressful.
Touch and go. Yeah, but from there I realized that I could handle pressure very well because
after this,
nothing can faze me.
Yeah, MMA is easy.
MMA is very easy. It is. I don't have to have my cock tied up and fight for the title. As long as that happens, I'm good. So yeah, went in there, had a great performance, and Jesus, it was painful.
Yeah.
And
okay, you went there, you did your performance, and at the moment when you should like show off, how was it? Like you was like enjoying, or you was kind of like scared how it will be? What was in your head that moment? At
that moment, I was thinking, "Oh my God, hope it's big enough. That's what I was thinking. So I'm halfway through my routine. I completely didn't do anything I practiced. I was walking from one side of the room, then to the other side of the room. And I was like, yeah, come on, girls. They don't care. They just love it, right? So I've got to the final part now, and I unstripped, and the girls went wild. And this gave me so much confidence. I just stood there, and that just become that later on in my career, that became my signature. Like I just stand there for an extended long period of time and just let them stare. And a little flick here and there, just let them stare. And or walk around like a god or something.
Like a macho, right?
Yeah. And yeah,
cool.
it was a good show. A good first show, no slip-ups, and the rest was history. 9 years, or 10 years, Jesus. 10 years since that day.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I'm 31 now, so I started when I was 21.
Oh my God, you look younger, definitely. I was thinking you're like 28, 7.
Yeah, everyone thinks that.
Wow. And you also have these like the pants, like so you can just rip it off, or what kind of clothing you are using?
So at the start of my stripping, everything was basic. Everything was like all these clothes that I'm pretty much like wearing now. So like everyday clothes, and they're quite hard to get off when you're dancing and stripping, and you get sweaty.
Especially pants, like how you make it sexy.
Sexy, yeah. There's a knack to it. So getting pants and socks off, you have to practice of getting, like, you can't just, when you go to your bedroom and you just go, whoop, take your socks off. That's not sexy at all. Yeah. Girls don't really want to see you struggling.
Or to jump on one leg.
Jumping on one leg. No. So there is a knack to it. And like you kind of slow that whole process down. So you can like even tease, move your hips a little bit, get it down to halfway, which gives you some chance to rebalance, and then kind of like do another move, and then get the other leg out and do another move. So you really slow everything down.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's like you go to bed, you just go throw it all off, like,
let's go.
Yeah, let's go. But it's the complete opposite. You want to be slow and precise and sexy and build anticipation. So that's what you're really doing when you're stripping.
Yeah, build it up. It should go like how to say it, to grow the excitement and everything, right?
Yeah.
And how you learn these things? Like you was learning from your like buddies in your strip club or group, or how to call it?
Yeah. So
or you was watching some videos, or
a bit of both actually. So when I first started stripping, I started looking at this guy called Bolo, and he was the #1 guy in the whole world.
Oh, really?
So he started stripping on YouTube, believe it or not, but not completely. He just like would perform, so he'd dance and perform and stuff. And that's what a lot of strippers used to miss, and still do to this day. That's why I call myself number one stripper in the world, because I perform, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen another stripper perform quite like me. We can go head to head. Let's go! I'll pull out the stripping championship.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's the business opportunity.
That's the business opportunity. Yeah. But so he used to perform, build anticipation, but dance to the music. So like Usher or Chris Brown, how they come out and create a story for their music, it's the same thing, but obviously at the end of the story, we end up naked.
Yeah.
So it's just adding that element into it. So I learned from watching YouTube and performing with other artists, seeing what they did and thinking, okay, could I do this better? Did this work? Trying things live as well. So that's another thing that I used to do. Go to one show, I'd be like, that's not the greatest response. Let me switch this up to that. Oh, okay, this is intense. This has got everyone intense. Oh, there's a silent part here. Did I want it to be silent? Okay, great. I wanted it to be silent. But then I wanted them to scream at that part. And if I do something here and I don't get this certain reaction and it throws me off, I'd be like, okay, cool. What did I do wrong? So it's just constantly trial and error.
By practice, you learn the skill. Yeah, okay, I understand. So. Yeah. Because sometimes, you want them to be silent to prepare them for some big thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Definitely want them to be silent, because I feel like when they're silent and they're focused and they're watching you, you can make the smallest moves, and it's so powerful. So like even there's a part in one of my sets where all I do is just unbutton a shirt, and before that I'm still for about 20 seconds, and the music's quiet. And they're watching my arm, like I'm doing nothing, and then my arm's coming up very slowly. And then bang, pop the shirt. They scream at that.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And then I really go back to nothing. And then I stand up and they scream. And it's like, I don't need to be, backflip, 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 backflip. You know, I don't need to do that. But yeah, there are some strippers that do backflip, 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 and wonder why they don't get the screams all the time, you know?
And you also have these performances like you have a girl on stage?
Yeah. So that again is a part of the whole anticipation stuff. And now I perform for about 30 minutes. So I've built it from 15, 10 to 15. Well, started off with 5 actually. So I said 15 earlier, but you start off with just a 5-minute striptease. And my original first one was I called it Aches Pussy Wet. That's what the whole track was called. And that was about 8 minutes. And I wanted to show people that I could go beyond the norm. Do you know? So the norm was for a new guy, first strip, to just come out, to do 5 minutes. So that carried on with the whole theme in my stripping career. That carried on. So I just pushed the boundaries every single time. And there was there still is not a lot of strippers that do over 15 minutes.
I'm curious, like you said, 30?
Yeah, literally, I'm on stage for about 32 minutes from start to finish.
That's super long.
Super long.
To keep people entertained.
Mm-hmm. And it's a hard, but that whole journey that I bring them on, by the time the end comes, they're on their feet. Halfway they're on their feet. I get them to sit that back down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I get them to sit back down, and then they go back through the journey again, like peaks and trough, you know, peaks and troughs.
Yeah, giving little tastes and then take it back.
Yeah. So, and then you have them eating out your hands.
Yeah.
And once you've got that, then they clap, and you know, you got your what's the word? Not encore? Is it encore? No, applause.
Applause, yes.
Yeah, and you live for that applause. There's nothing better than having that applause from everyone in the room. It's just the greatest feeling ever.
And such a unique thing like this.
Yeah.
And in this 30 minutes performance, you have this girl on stage, or?
Yeah. So for me, I start off with just me on stage, and I build the anticipation of maybe taking off her clothes, maybe not. And I'll take off 1 or 2 pieces of items. I'll come off with my face covered. Mm-hmm. So you may know who I am already, but then you're just trying to see my face. You're like, why is he masked up? And I take my time, boom, 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 and I'll take my face off and do a whole performance of just me on my own to make you want me. And then I'll bring a girl on stage, and I'll bring her through a journey. And with my normal 30 minutes one, I'll chuck her off halfway through. And then it's slight little steps up. So she'll just get just a little chair dance, a little something.
Okay.
Then the second girl will get a bit more. She'll get a bit more of maybe acrobatics and a bit more play with me stripping with her. And then the last girl will maybe get to take off, like I put a little cover around my cock. Mm-hmm. So she'll maybe be able to take off my boxers or take off that wrap around my cock, and she'll have like more of an intense journey. And the crowd will come through that. So that's where the levels go, whoop, whoop, whoop. And then the final is me naked, you know? So yeah, that's the journey I typically take them on.
And what kind of people are in crowd? Like it's...
everyone. So like there's girls, there's boys, there's people that identify with whatever. You know what I mean? So
and boys, it's like what kind of boys are there?
Yeah, so there's gay boys, there's boys that come with their girlfriends.
Okay.
You know, like,
yeah, really?
Yeah, I think maybe it's like if you're going to go to the strip club, I'm coming. Do you know? Yeah, something like that. Because
so they are standing there, man.
Yeah, some of them are mad, and sometimes you'll get the performers, like parents will come. You know?
Parents?
Yeah, like everyone thinks of, you think of a strip club and you think of, the ladies on the pole and you go there, you go with their boys and you throw the money and maybe all that sort of stuff. But male stripping is totally different.
Yeah.
It's more of a pantomime. It's more of a performance. Mm-hmm. It's more of you go on stage, you sit back and you're in a crowd full of loads of people, like you're at a theatre, and you're enjoying the show. It's a lot more different. So guys do turn up, whether they're straight or gay. Do you know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, I can tell you actually, because when I used to be a bouncer, I also, of course, I was sometimes in our club. They pay the private parties. There was, some bride, she's getting to be married. So before that, they had this party, and they pay a stripper. So I was like there to just protect the area.
Yeah.
And I remember there was like good and bad strippers, and there was more those who were bad.
We're bad, yeah.
And like totally don't feel it, like when it's okay what they are doing and girls are entertained, or it's just embarrassing and weird.
Yeah.
It could be easy weird if you don't. That was how I saw it. Like if you don't know how to play with them, and where is some lines that you should not cross, or something.
Yeah.
But there were few guys. They were, I have to say, good. Like it was real performance, like you said.
Yeah. It's entertaining, isn't it?
Yeah, entertaining. And does it? You also would say there is a certain lines that you should not cross, or that you sometimes maybe crossed some borders, and then he was like, "Oh fuck, I fucked up this."
Yeah, definitely. In 10 years of stripping, there has been like some lines that have been crossed, but I've always like known, like I feel like I've had, with everything that of my life, I feel like I've known how to read people quite a lot, starting off with personal training and always being like sociable, the breakdancing, all those sort of things. I've been around people. So when it comes to like performing, like nowadays, I always speak to them in advance and say, if anything is too much, just tap out. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just say like Jaffa cakes. I say that's my special word. Just say Jaffa cakes, or I speak to the organizer and just I ask a little bit about the woman or the man who's getting performed on. You know what I mean? Like how do they, like, are they prudish?
Mm-hmm.
Did they want to even see a naked body?
Okay.
Because some don't. Some just only want to go down to boxes, but they don't tell you that before. So somebody could come in and go bang, 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 strip, and they're like, oh no. Do you know what I mean? It's just too much for them. So over the time of like getting responses and feeling that, okay, this is a little bit awkward for the person. They don't want to be watched by their friends, feeling hot and heavy with a complete random stranger. So you can feel that in mid-performance and kind of adjust yourself to that. And that's
where you can go.
Yeah.
And how far.
And it's just about communication.
Yeah, okay.
Like don't be afraid to communicate with your clients, just be like, is this okay? We even whisper it to them, like, I'm going to do this to you right now. I'm going to pick you up and spin you upside down. Don't worry, I know you got a skirt and I'm going to hold the back. They go, okay.
Okay, yeah. So you assure them that everything will be fine and they know what to expect?
Yeah.
And is there any no-goes, like in men striptease? Like...
Yeah. So there is definitely a solid line of sex. So you don't, in your performance, I'm not going to go and stick my cock inside of a woman, or, let her suck my cock, or like maybe like grab it and wank it off and stuff like that. Like that line does get crossed a lot, but it's something that for me personally, I always keep that separate. So like if I'm going to have sex with a client, it's off the books. Do you know what I mean? It's off I've finished my job. You know what I mean? Like, let me finish first and then we can have fun. But while I'm performing or while I'm working, no. Do you know what I mean? I'm just straight doing my job because I'm not an escort.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I used to say. You know what I mean? Like that comes out at a different price. Yeah, that's not something that's that's something we can talk about too. What I've done, I've lived that life. But they are two different separate jobs.
Yeah, different worlds.
Different worlds as well, completely.
Because I was also, obviously, I was like thinking about it. Like after a performance, that they are horny, they saw you naked, they totally like you, and of course you got the offers, right? And they wanted to take you away. How this works?
That just works just like the normal world. So, not really like the normal world. Actually, it's they literally do come up to you. And if a woman wants to have sex with you, she will be very blatant about it and just be like, well, you staying the night, or you're coming with me. I love you, I want to fuck you. Literally, girls are very brutal. There's two ends of the scales. Girls that are just very subtle about it, but most likely they're not subtle about it. They know what they want, especially when they had their few drinks and they're built up the anticipation. They're like, yeah, I want you. You're coming with me. And you're getting eaten alive. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Like that.
And you do your performances in Great Britain, also around Europe and different countries?
Yeah, so I've actually stripped. I've stripped in Europe quite a lot. Well, I've stripped in Egypt, Is it Egypt? No. Is it Egypt? Cyprus. My
Cyprus.
bad. Yeah. So I've stripped in Cyprus. I've stripped in all of UK and Ireland. And I think that's as far as it is. So everywhere, UK and Ireland. I think I'm missing one more place. Spain.
Spain.
But it's Europe, right? So a few places in Europe, but every single place you can imagine in UK, and a load of places in Dublin. I used to fly over there every single weekend doing jobs in Dublin and stuff like that. But UK, it's like every single weekend, sometimes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. Sometimes you're stripping at different places. Sometimes
it's a hard job.
Yeah, sometimes 3 jobs in a night.
How much are strippers paid? Like for one for one night, for example.
Yeah, so like an average I would say if I was to do some market research, an average you're looking at from £80 to 100 and £150. You'd find the bulk of strippers. But then you'd got like guys like myself.
How about the best stripper in the world?
So I charge $250 for a show, and then $350 for privates. So that would be That's what I charge now, really. So that's.
And how the privates work? Like if some girls they have the party or something, or what kind of private private performances you are doing?
Yeah, so a private party would be anything to do with like it's not in a club. You know, so if it's outside in a private place, or you want me to go to somewhere where it's not performing with a bunch of other boys, then you know, like it's not a show that's been booked by my agency or booked from like whoever I'm working with, then it's a private, you know, like it's kind of worked out like that, really.
And there was any weird private occasions that they call you? Like, for example, I'm curious, some girls alone and call you?
Yeah.
Does it happen?
Yeah, very rarely. Like girls normally like to do things in pairs or threes. And that still is like a private, and you know what they're calling you for. And this is where the line has to be drawn, because sometimes they'll call you for a private and then want to get you to goad you in to have sex with them. And then, you know, so they want 2 for the price of 1 in a way.
Oh, yeah.
But especially when I was escorting, I always be like, well, I offer that service too, you know. Like, I can offer you the full package, but it's how much it costs.
Okay.
So I'd always like veer it like that. But I guess, you know, I'm a boy. So sometimes I would see a client that's very beautiful and I'd be like, okay, cool.
Discount.
Completely free. Yeah, I strip and then I'll stay for a few hours. Yeah.
For wine. And yeah, what was the like weird maybe occasions where they call you for the private?
For me, the first, I guess when I was young, I would be invited to like it's clearly a fetish party that's going on, and I wasn't like exposed to all of, you know, people wearing fetish wear and people just wearing lingerie in like a normal environment. I'm always thinking, lingerie is like sexy. We're about to have sex, and she's nearly naked. But all these girls are just chilling together, having a lingerie party or a hot tub party, and I'm there like stripping with all these girls that are like pretty much naked too. And I'm like that. So that was kind of weird for me. But the strangest, I guess my mind is so open now. So it's like there's not really a strange request.
But maybe something would surprise you at that time.
Going to a sex party. So like I've been asked to go perform, and everyone's like, they're fucking, and then they pause, watch me, and then they go back to having a sex party. And it's like, okay, I'm in a sex party now. Like, cool.
How you felt? Like, not weird that you are the only one who doesn't have a sex at that moment?
No, I got sorted out. Yeah, I joined in. Yeah. It was good.
For free.
Yeah, for free. I did. I just kind of thought, fuck it. I called my best mate, and I was like, mate, you would not believe where I'm at. He pulled up. So we were all there having the time of our life.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's crazy.
Heartache.
And any like, I'm curious that you must have so many like crazy experiences from the podium or stuff like that. Do you have some? You can share?
I mean, The most craziest thing that happened on stage for me, what like it's probably not one of the most craziest things, but this is what happened. This one thing stayed with me for a while. I would go to a place called Derby, and it's in Wolverhampton. No, it's close by Wolverhampton. I think maybe my geography's off. Anyway, it's in England, and this place is like a small little town, and you wouldn't expect much from it, right? So I'd go there just thinking, yeah, it's just gonna be work. I arrived, and this hall was probably no bigger than this place that you've got here, like all the extended. But there was about 290 or something rammed. It was like you could hardly move. So I was like, wow, they sold this very well. Like, good on them. Anyway, I prepared. I got all my outfit up, and I'm going out as Camo Galaxy, I call it. So I'm just in my SWAT gear, army gear.
Okay.
Right, in my army gear and stuff. And I've finally got rip-off pants. Right, so I've got all the gear and all the idea, and I'm about to come out. I've got like this little entrance theme music where it says, "Hello, I'm Galaxy. Hope you girls are excited," and all those little spiel. It's changed over the years. Anyway, it comes on. Hear them screaming. I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a good night." I opened the door because it was a side door to get to the
stage or
the
podium
stage.
or what? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not on stage. It's halfway through the room, and you have to walk to get onto stage.
Oh, okay.
So I open the door, and I can't get through it. I'm like, open, and there's loads of girls in front of me. I'm like, how do I get through? I'm like trying to like push them, trying to like slowly push them instead of like going move, because I'm like proper masked up and stuff. And I'm like, like somebody help me. No security was helping me. They're all standing somewhere else. I don't know why, but I finally get halfway through. As I get halfway through, I feel a big tug. I look down. my whole pants are gone. I have no camo pants. They got ripped off my body, and I'm like, I'm looking around thinking, I'm about to get on stage in just a camo top and just my boxers.
Oh my God!
I was like, what the hell? I turned around and I found the person who took them. I was like, I need them, please. So I took them, and I took my time just to pop them back on and then walk on stage. It was, yeah, that was probably the most hectic performance, because all the other times when it's really busy like that, you've got a direct route to get onto stage. You're kind of protected by security.
They leave you alone.
Yeah.
Because girls are crazy, right? They can be crazy sometimes, right?
Yeah. I've seen when people talk about relationships and stuff like that, and women, they all think, or women at strip clubs or men at strip clubs, they all think that the men are worse. Or, like girls think, guys go out and chase women, that sort of stuff. No. I've seen women at their most heightened, at their most worst, at their most like horniest, at their most craziest. I've seen women that are older than my mom going nuts and going, oh my God, you're too young for me, but I would fuck you. I'm like, what?
Okay.
I said, can you cook? Yeah, I'll cook you anything.
Okay, grandma.
Yeah, okay, grandma.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. And grandma comes off stage, she's like, you just made me wet. I'm like, okay. Jesus. And I would never think in a million years that I'd be speaking to an older woman, a woman as old as my mom, that she could be my mother, and I'm getting that reaction from her, But obviously now it's just so normal, and I react in a normal way, and I tease them with it and stuff like that. But when I first heard it, it was strange. It was really strange at the start.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And because you have a girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how this works? Like the relationship is so open, or how you have it? What's the deal between you two because of your job?
Yeah. So with that becomes a lot of trust. So I don't have an open relationship. I have a traditional, what's the word? A traditional
setup.
Yeah, traditional setup, like where we don't play with other people outside of the relationship, right?
Okay.
And through all the different girlfriends I've had, The only issue has just been trust.
Mm-hmm.
And I would consider myself a loyal guy. Like, I don't, if I say something that I'm going to do something, I follow through with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so if I say I'm not going to like fuck other girls, then, you know, I expect you not to fuck other guys, sort of thing. And that's where it goes. Like, this is just a job. And especially as a, you know, like after like year 5, year 4, year 5, after this has just become just a day job or well, night job. It's something that I could really hold down and just look after a relationship like that. But then obviously it does have its struggles, because it is a lot for a partner to take. You know, seeing you being grabbed by a lot of women, seeing a lot of women offer sex for you, and you know, some of these women would be the woman your partner would see, and they're very beautiful. So they'd be like, well, why not? Why wouldn't you? You know, it's every guy's dream to get screamed at by loads of women. So like, why wouldn't you go out there and, you know, we've just had an argument, why wouldn't you go and have sex with them? So I think it's just all about trust. And especially with the relationship I have now, like my girlfriend loves coming to the shows, and she's like literally like my number one fan. Like she'll come and watch, or she'll be at home and ask, you know, help me out with the performances or stuff like that. She's like proper involved in a lot of parts of my life. Whereas I feel like that's what was missing with the past relationships. It was segregated. So it was like, I'm going to stripping now. I come back, we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, how was work? No, there's none of that, because they don't want to know.
Yeah.
They never wanted to know. So it created this barrier between me and my partner. So I feel like being open in that way, again, with communication, I feel like that's key with women. Women just love to talk and love communication. So you can give them a little bit of that. I feel like that builds trust, and that's how me and my girlfriend, soon to be my wife, hopefully one day.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice example, like how again, like how the communication in relationship is important, right? Even the things like this you can go through, it can work, and just you are just open, not hiding anything, not lying to partner, and then keep communication still going on. Yeah, that's cool. That's very nice.
I have fucked up in the past, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially in my past relationships, I've been a very naughty boy. You know, all these temptations around me, and then, you know, you make a mistake here and there. But I've definitely learnt from that. And I feel like that's why my relationship now really works.
And what's what kind of goals can stripper have? Like, for example, in MMA, you want to be a world champion, right? Or something. But what is it in striptease? Like, what you can achieve? What is the top?
Yeah, I guess in the stripping world, for me, in the stripping world, you've got all these agencies, and the biggest like promotion, like in like a MMA, you got different promotions, and you want to fight on these promotions. So it's the same with stripping. You want to perform with the best guys. You want to be on the biggest stages.
Okay.
You want to go to the theaters and perform to like 1,000, 2,000 women and people. And then there's also money as well. So the monetary part of it. So you want to be able to be the best paid. So for me, my goals was to be at the start. It was obviously to get money. It was a nice side hustle. But then I started to really fall into the performance aspect of it. So I wanted to have everybody on their feet and standing up and talking about me, and wanted to book me for privates, because then that would bring in some more money. And then I'd start to like maybe about 5 years ago, I was talking about I'm the best stripper in the world. I'd outperform anybody who could strip. And then I started to perform with Americans. So the best Americans would come over, and then I'd be in a group called the Chocolate Men.
Okay.
And I believe at the time in 2017, that was the best strip group in the whole world. We had the biggest lineup. There was strippers who had been performing for nearly 15 years, and had like earned their stripes, and I would compete with them pretty much on stage on a nightly basis, where we'd compete for the top spot. You know, like who would get the biggest reaction, who would get the most followers on Instagram, who would bring in the most money, who would make the most privates after, who would get the most strips, the private strips. Like we'd have like little dances after the show, and we'd have a line of girls who want to dance with us for 3 minutes and stuff like that. And so I'd always use that as little bars of success. So the goal in the end was just to get a lot of money and say proudly with my chest, I could beat any stripper in the world.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's nice if you can compare right on stage with them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand now. And when is the time when the stripper should go to retire? Like, because you said 15 years, I'm thinking like
I know, right?
maybe okay, but
Yeah,
men can still look good in 50, like easy,
they could.
right? So when is usually time when the strippers are going to retire?
Well, I think it's like the shelf is based upon the person.
Yeah.
So like I've seen strippers that this great stripper called Tony Storm. He taught me a lot of things that I knew that brought me to the next level. Like I started off with a stripper called Casanova, and he still is one of my good friends, and he taught me all the fundamentals of stripping and performing. And then, but meeting Tony Storm brought me from like fighting in amateurs to being a professional
pro.
contender. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like a contender for these titles and stuff like that. And he was 50. You know, and
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That time.
that time
was
he was
50.
like coming up to 50s, and he was pretty old, but in the world, but he was in very good shape. And I never once thought you don't deserve to be on stage. Do you know?
Mhm.
And there's another guy I was with. He was in his mid-40s, well, just coming up to his 40s, and he was still stripping. He wasn't in the best shape that he could possibly be, but he would still get a good reaction from the crowd because of the way he would perform.
Mhm.
So I feel like the shelf life generally is like after about when you come up to your 40s, if you don't stay in shape, then your shelf life is kind of over.
Mhm.
But if you do, you could really push it up to the 50s and stuff. It depends what you want to do in your life.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you
Yeah.
take care about yourself and your body,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Especially that's your how to say it.
Me,
Yeah.
I'm kind of officially retired now.
Yeah, you are retired.
Yeah, so I feel like I've performed with every single strip group in the world.
Mhm.
I've performed, well, not in the world, in the UK, and I live in the UK, so I'm not going to go to
Yeah.
to
Australia. or
Australia
something,
just to
yeah.
perform with a strip group. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I've done every single one that
So your stripper bucket list is all done.
is ticked. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
okay.
like I've done everything that I can do with stripping, and my focus is my MMA career. So I've put that on the head now, and I'm just focusing full on my MMA career.
Are you bringing something from striptease to MMA? At least you're walking or something.
You'll have to tune in. You'll have to tune in. Maybe I will.
Yeah, maybe you can fight in these pants that you can like break them off at the end.
You're gonna have to blur it. Blur the lightsaber.
Okay, tell us before so we'll be prepared with the,
Yeah.
with the blurry tool. Oh my god, I'm
Yeah,
curious
do
because
that.
now you'll be fighting in Octagon. Next fight, I think after this story,
Yeah.
many fans, especially the female ones, will be looking forward.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
this,
yeah.
to your even walking. So maybe you can prepare something like
Maybe.
how to. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that can be my last strip ever. Coming to strip to get to fight in Octagon.
Oh my god,
You
I
know?
cannot wait. I cannot wait. Is there anything that you want to say and I didn't ask? Maybe.
About stripping or
Yeah, whatever.
I guess can we talk about my next fight or?
Yeah, we
Wait for
can.
it, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm super excited to be signed to Octagon. I feel like this is a great opportunity for me. I have the skills. I feel like I have the personality, and I love what you guys are doing. Like you're really pushing the promotion of your show.
Thank you.
I love how there's the big crowds, but then there's also big numbers going on online, and it looks fresh and new and a great contender for like the MMA shows out there.
Yeah, I think we are just, like colliding in perfect time because, guys, you should go to our social media and watch the Akonne Wanliss Jedi video, how you even introduce yourself to Octagon like nobody ever before. You made your own video, which
Yeah.
we super appreciate. When we saw it with Andre, we were like, oh, wow, like, this is something different.
Yeah.
Like this dude know how to
Promote, yeah.
promote or get attention from the viewers, so and our fans. So I'm super excited. You should perform in Štvanice. You should fight in Štvanice.
Yep.
Perform now, maybe after. If you have enough money, maybe you can buy it. But yeah, you will fight there. I'm super excited about that. And then we have a fight for you in Manchester.
Yeah.
I think we can say now that it's supposed to be. Okay, I will not say it because I'm not sure when this podcast will go
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So we also have a fight for you in the Manchester Arena, which I'm super excited. It's the biggest arena in UK.
Yeah.
There will be like crazy crowd, I'm sure, because people in UK, they just love the sport. And I'm curious how it would be for you when entering the place, and what was the biggest crowd you was fighting in front of?
I think I've done 6,000.
Yeah,
I've done
okay,
6,000,
that's
which is
good.
pretty decent.
Yeah,
But when you talk about like crowd, and you touched on it a little bit. You said performance. I feel like that's what messes a lot of guys up. You know, when you get this ring rust they talk about. I think it's like being worried about what people think, or oh my God, I haven't been out there for so long. There's so many people. And I think like with the fact that I stripped and I perform so much part of my life, that never phases me. Doesn't matter how big the crowd is. I'm sure obviously a 20,000 seater crowd, I'm gonna look at that and be like, whoa, whoa. But still, when that case,
more enjoying than be scared of it. Right?
Yeah. I feel like I always can perform, and that's how I do see it. Like, yeah, I'm fighting, but I always can perform on the night. Like, there's never like an off night for me, because I'm so used to performing, whether it's dancing or fighting. So I can always switch that on, and I'm excited to perform in front of these bigger crowds.
Because this happened to many new fighters. They are coming to Octagon, especially, I mean, from Germany, but now we had like new prospects from UK, and they are coming to Octagon, and we have even for 20,000 people, and the atmosphere, it eats them, or how to say, like totally, because it really like. They never saw the energy, and if all eyes on you, and suddenly, your legs start to shake, literally, like it's crazy. They don't want to say it, but it is like that.
You see it, yeah.
So if you have this experience, and you feel good in front of the big crowd, that's a big advantage, actually. Yeah, it's a huge thing.
You see it with strippers as well. Like, they'll go out, they've performed in their bedroom, they practiced all the routines, but they go out and the crowd's like 100, and they're just like looking down the whole time, like, don't look at me, and the performance looks absolutely dire, looks shit, because they're broke underneath the performance. And like you say, like, that relates to the fighting, and the fighters that have come out maybe like fought in front of like a 250 or maybe even 1,000, but they come out and see 21,000 people screaming or even booing, because they don't know who you are, and it breaks them, and you can't be broken mentally in a fight.
And how is it for you to fight? Like, what's going on when you walk to the cage, then the door are closed, and there's just a few seconds before the fight? What is inside of your head that time?
So obviously, I call myself the Jedi, and this is when I got the light side and the dark side, and I bring myself straight to the middle, to the center, where I'm balanced and focused. So that's how I feel when I'm in that cage, just focused on my opponent and just calm. Just bringing myself to the moment, and anything that happens from there, it's just what will be will be. It's not like, oh my God, I must punch him and he must punch me, or I must slip this, I must like that, or he's got his best move. There's no anticipation
really?
like
So
that.
much like calmness as you're describing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So much calmness runs through my head, and I'm just like, let's go.
What happened will happen, right?
Yeah, I do my Jedi pose.
Oh, I want to ask about this. I love it. It's actually, you saw it somewhere, or you created it? What is this? Like, can you show it, your Jedi thing?
I got loads of different ones. So that one I do right there, that's my fight one. So I crush together the force, and then I put it all over my fist.
Okay.
So it's ready to go. And I lock it off, turn it into the lightsaber with the force. Boom, throw the force at the person. Force choke, and throw them in the air. Boom, and as you punch them. So it's ready to...
Because I like it how you do these things in videos. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I never saw this before.
Yeah, I got a few of them, and you'll see them over my Octagon career.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm curious. I cannot wait. And you saw them somewhere, or you just created it by yourself? Like... Or it's from your performances.
No, I don't do. I don't do any like. Oh, wow! Actually, that just take me back. My first actually strip was boxing orientated.
Okay.
Came out like a boxer from shadow boxing. It was hilarious, really funny. Girls don't really want to see that, but that's what I came up first.
Yeah.
And then now they made it a little bit different, and more sexy and more performance orientated, away from the fighting. But yeah, I watch a lot of anime.
Okay.
You've been big into Dragon Ball Z and One Piece, Naruto, and I guess from all this inspiration from there, I just kind of created a character, and then this was like, releasing the chi, or releasing the ninjutsu, as they call it in Naruto. So I guess that it's not just built from my head. It's inspiration from here, inspiration from there, and just putting it all together and just like maybe even Darth Vader there with the force choke. It's just all mixed together and just created by me, but definitely inspired by anime.
And who you would say you are now? Like, you are Akonne, you are #1 stripper in the world, you are MMA fighter, you are Jedi. Who are you right now?
I mean, I'm Akonne, but they're all my accolades. So
Okay.
they never really leave. There are things that I've achieved in all my life, and that they make me who I am, right? So I there's times where I'll call upon them. So all the stripping, if I haven't fought for so long, I'll call upon the performer in me, and tune into that. It's just, especially in a fight, it's just me and him. You know what I mean? The referee can look after himself. Referee better dodge this lightsaber, if he gets in the way, poor referee. But it's just me and him, not 21,000 people.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
And what is it like? Yeah, like what you will bring to Octagon? Yeah, which will be like, if you want to like settle yourself, I would
Mhm.
say, like, this is what you can expect from me. This is what I will bring to the Octagon.
Yeah.
What's that thing?
So I think from the jump, I'm gonna bring a massive creativity and a breath of fresh air to Octagon, where I do things differently. I introduce myself differently. My walkouts will be different. People won't ever expect what's gonna happen. And also in the cage, I'm 100% finisher, not in that way, but in the fighting way, right? So I finish last in them other ways, right?
Yeah.
But I'm always aiming for the finish. So in my career, I'm 6-2, and all them six victories are finishes. Even in my amateurs, I finish my opponents with knockouts or submissions, so they can expect action from me. I don't mess about. I don't try and chill. I'm always very entertaining. So from the moment I walk out till the fight ends and I walk back to the changing room, I expect the audience to be very entertained.
Okay, this perfect mix, I would say.
Mhm.
Sounds good. So, and what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? Like, what we can expect from this? Where you will make it?
Yeah, so in Octagon, I've come here to be the champion. So I've got many exciting fights lined up already. I've got 5 fights that I've got on my head that ting, 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 I'll chop off, and then get in the rankings. And once I'm in the rankings, start taking them guys out one by one, and then fight with the champion and become champion and build a legacy from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like those strippers back then, right?
Like the strippers back then, yeah, take them out one
Yeah,
by
yeah.
one. So I'm just focused on the guy ahead of me, but I've definitely got my eyes on everyone else that I've got on my wanted posters.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Perfect. Thank you
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much for this podcast. I can't wait to perform you in Octagon. Good
It's
luck.
been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
And meanwhile, enjoy the rest of the filming of the Octagon Challenge in
Yeah,
Gun
man.
versus Island.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, man.